Yeah, guys, today one more live testing of a brand new equipment here at the channel that I hope that you will enjoy and that it's going to be something interesting to you. So, for those who doesn't know, Harley Benton has just dropped their new release, which is the DNAfx GIT or GIT core, which is actually the fourth or fifth product of this generation of the DNAfx family of products from Harley Benton. And it sounds pretty interesting, sounds pretty promising. We have finally received the product 1 week ago, but unfortunately I was not able to cover it before, as I didn't want to postpone that much to be showing you. I decided to do this live stream. So, of course, this is not an ultimate testing or review. The idea is just to share with you my first impressions, play with it a little bit, take a look at the functions that this new MultiFX actually has, and to talk a little bit also about the application, connectivity, comparison with some other products. But yeah, if you are really interested on knowing more about this product, I strongly suggest you to subscribe to the channel, as of course I'll bring pretty much in-depth review of this product later on, okay? So, first of all, I need to say that I really appreciate Harley Benton products, but today this video is being actually sponsored by the good friends, not of Harley Benton, but by the good friends of the Members Club. So thank you so much for all the members of the channel. Thanks to your support, thanks to your trust in our work, we've been able to invest a little bit more on products here for the channel, and due to that, I was able to bring as fast as I could this new product, this new release. So you see that really soon we're going to have really nice products coming, new partnerships that are appearing here at the channel, some really good products, some things that probably you are going to be really interested on knowing more. So if you are not subscribed, guys, strongly suggest you to subscribe. And of course, if you would like to follow things a little bit faster, to see what is coming and what is appearing in my desk, and also to exchange some experience and talk to us, you can follow me on the Riffs and Rigs Instagram profile that you have there on the corner of the video, or also join our members, actually our open group at Telegram. So you have also the link there up. Okay, guys, so without further ado, let's move ahead. First of all, I would like to thank all the good friends that are following us on the chat. I know that not for all of you, it's a so comfortable hour of the day to be following the live stream, but for those who will not be watching this live, thank you so much anyway for being here with us. And guys, just give me, as always, that traditional feedback. Is the audio fine? Everything working good? I am using my new microphone, that is actually the Fine K6A8. I just released it, just dropped the review of this new microphone here at the channel, and I am pretty impressed with the quality of this microphone. But it's, to be honest, it's the first time that I am actually live streaming using this microphone. So I would really appreciate your feedback if everything is going well, okay? Just give me your thumbs up there. I am of course, seconds behind because of the delay, but if you're going to notice something weird, duplicate sound, low volume, please feel free to tell me, and I can, of course, adjust here. Good, guys. So, without further ado, let's take a look a little bit about what I have here on the desk. Of course, in these testing live streams, unfortunately, I'm not able to operate more than one camera plus the live stream plus play on the same time, guys. So I try to keep things a little bit simpler and neat. And I think that the star of the show, it's not my face, but actually the product. So this is the reason why I decided to keep today the camera actually pointing down, and you are going to be able to follow what is happening on the MultiFX just in time, okay? So this is the box of the Harley Benton product. As you see, it's a pretty compact box, beautiful one, as all Harley Benton products. And let's take a look on what actually we have inside. So this is how the product arrives. Some interesting things. It comes already with a cable, what is pretty nice, because of course if you intend to use this product as your audio interface, Yeah, you have everything ready straight from the box. Also, you're going to find a power supply. But the good news is that if you intend also to use this on your pedal board, mixing with other effects and stomp boxes, it's actually powered with 9 volts, 300 milliamperes, which nowadays it's a pretty standard, pretty common power supply. So you could use this on your longer, bigger power supply without any issues. As you know, I have a Mosky ISO 10 here at my working bench. So for today, this one actually will not be used. I'm going to use my traditional plug that I use to test all the products that I test here at the workbench, okay? And you're going to see that this is pretty fine. It works pretty well. Okay, now let's take a look on the manuals that we have here down. We have actually 3 manuals here. First one, of course, German manual. For friends of Germany, you can enjoy it. Of course, I am not that good German speaker, just know the basics, so I'm going to go for the most traditional English manual. And I had already the chance to take a look, more or less, what is inside the manual on the digital version of it. And I need to say that I am pretty impressed with the list of effects that you're going to find inside this unit. And when you're going to take a look at the price stand, I think that this list is going to get even more interesting and more attractive to you. But when it comes to amps, it's unbelievable the amount of amps that actually we have here. So we are talking about 55 preamp options that we're going, of course, not to take a look at all of them, but I'm going to try to take a look and explore the ones that are the most searched and also maybe the most unexpected ones or things that maybe could be interesting to take a look, okay? So yeah, in terms of manual, you have the paper one. You can put at your desk and play with it as much as you want. Now, the star of the night. We are talking about the unit itself, and there it is. So this is the DNAfx GIT core. For those who are seeing the DNAfx line of products for the first time, Harley Benton actually started maybe 1 or 2 years ago with their family of multi-effects. Of course, as majority of the stomp boxes and multi-effects from Harley Benton, I do believe that they are actually white labeling it. But one thing that for me is pretty interesting is that I didn't see any analog product like this one. So probably this is a custom project that Harley Benton did together with some Chinese, more affordable producer. I have my guess of maybe who could be the partner during this development, but I cannot clearly confirm, so I would just keep my guess to myself. But just in terms of comparison, I would like to show you some interesting comparison here. This is the size of the DNAfx, and if we would compare with this well-known unit here at the channel, I believe that majority of you that are subscribers came because of this unit. This is what the difference between the sizes that we have between the two products, okay? So we are talking about more or less 1/3 of the size bigger in terms of space, okay? But yeah, there are some interesting things in terms of navigation and features in this one that are a little bit better compared to this one, okay? You see that this is pretty similar in some points, especially when it comes to the logic of the signal chain on top. When we're going to turn on, you're going to see some things that are a little bit also pretty similar. And for those who saw the black box straight from the box, probably you already know also this protection film that they have here. So yeah, maybe, could be, maybe it's just voices from my mind, that are telling me that maybe this is actually manufactured by one famous Chinese company. It's just a guess. Another important comparison, guys, because when we're going to be talking about this product, I believe that lots of people are going to start comparing it, as it is relatively higher range compared to the black box. So yeah, if you want to compare also in terms of size with the Ampero Mini, that is probably the most affordable multi-FX from the whole tone, that maybe today we could say, I'm going to say from my opinion, okay, that could be maybe the most high-ending multi-FX producer from China. So yeah, this is a little bit bigger than the Ampero Mini, but as you see, the navigation actually, it's not done by touch, it's everything done by those buttons that we have here down, plus the selection knobs that we have here. So this is the reason why, of course, the Ampero Mini, it's able to have a little bit more compact size. But if we're going to turn here up, we start seeing already some interesting things. Let me just correct the focus so you can take a look on what I'm talking about. So yes, you see that we are already talking about an OTG and an USB dedicated output on the Harley Benton DNAfx. This means that you could use this actually to record straight at your mobile phone, plus use this as an audio interface with a more standard connection, higher quality of connection. It has the most standard phone outputs, but what is pretty interesting is basically that this has output for expression pedal, which doesn't have in the black box. Of course, the 9 volts powering, so it's not necessary to be powered only with the USB-C or using the battery, the internal battery. This doesn't have internal battery, actually, just like the whole tone one. And something that is not visible here, but I can already tell you, this is fully stereo via TRS cable, just like this small one. So the famous complaint that lots of people had about the black box, okay, it's good, but it's still not stereo, so it could be not comparable with the Ampero, actually means that maybe the Harley Benton gave one step ahead towards what could be considered Ampero Mini or any other stomp box style multi-effects, okay? In terms of controllability, we are going always to have the same complaint as the Ampero Mini and also black box, so only 2 foot switches. So yeah, this is also compatible with external MIDI controller. I will need to do some further tests to understand if this could be used even connected with the famous M-VAVE chocolate, or if it would be necessary to have actually the controller connected by cable using the expression. So yeah, it's something that I didn't have still the chance to check while I was waiting for the product. But one thing that I can already tell you in advance is that it has basically the same logic of setting as all the other Harley Benton DNAfx, which brings one problem. We are talking about a fixed signal chain, okay? So this is something compared to the black box that is actually a negative point. You are not able to change or to edit the order of your signal chain, but of course it has many other things that doesn't have in the black box. So you're going to see that the modulations are much better, and many other modulations. You have one specific slot for distortion, so you don't need to be using other pedals or just the boost to kick your amp. And it also works with the same logic as the Ampero Mini. So we are not talking about a capture loading unit, okay? We're talking about a modular, which makes me pretty curious to see the sound quality of this thing, especially when we think about the price point. And to be able to make my point here, I will do a quick transition so I can show you how much this is actually surprising. So guys, we are talking about an 89 bucks product, okay? So for those who remember the price of the black box when it was actually released, this is simply unbelievable. I believe that the black box actually was released at the same price standing point. Of course, nowadays we're talking about out of sale period, something around 60 to 65 bucks. The Tank G a little bit lower, something around also 55 to 60 bucks. But both products, Tank G and the black box, were actually released close to 89, 90 bucks. So we're talking about a product that is basically competitive in terms of price standing with the cheapest, and not cheapest, but the most affordable multi-effects on the market. So this is something pretty interesting, and which, if it's going to be nailing in terms of sound, I would say that finally this brings Harley Benton to the stand and to the stage with lots of people, because many of you, and please confirm me on the comments or even here at the chat, I believe that you never paid so much attention to multi-effects coming from Harley Benton, because most of them were looking basically like white labels from other brands, something like a Flamma rebranding or recasing, or something from Moore, or whatever it is. So we know that Harley Benton works with this strategy for several pedals, like we already mentioned about some recasings that were done on their Duo series for the Moore mini pedals. They have lots of pedals that actually are recasings from the Joyo, but at least now seems that there is a new unit that, at least from what I know, I was not able to identify something that is analog to this product. And when we're going to turn on, you're going to start seeing some similarities that will call you probably your attention. Okay? So guys, this is not a sponsor video, once again. So I would like to thank once again the good folks from the members club, which are actually sponsoring this video. So they, due to the membership of the channel, we were able to get this unit for 89 bucks. So if you're watching and you're still not a member, please become a member, and you're going to have a chance of winning this unit, because after I'll finish doing all the content that I have to do, this is going to be one of the products on the next rounds of giveaways. We are shipping globally, so it doesn't matter if you're in Brazil, if you're in Philippines, if you are in US, I'm going to make this product come to you. So if you would like to participate, it's basically a symbolic value. It's not something that is going to break the bank. So consider becoming a member of the channel. Every first week of the month, we always have our giveaways here. So it would be really nice to have your support, okay? Guys, without further ado, let's continue. Let's talk a little bit about the build quality of this thing. So let me go back to the big screen. Okay. So I hope you can see back here the product, and first thing, the foot switches are pretty solid. So this, it's pretty nice. It has its rubber feet here. You see that it has basically all the certifications, of course, made in China, but the Thomann level of quality and Harley Benton level of quality is always looking for the American and European standards. So you couldn't expect less from them, yeah? But when it comes to the things that I believe that could be the most fragile ones, that are the screen, buttons, and the knobs, they are pretty fine. We have here one clickable knob, which is going to be used later to set the values. Yeah, just like the black box. This is also a clickable knob, which can be also used to change things and to click. And you here have the master volume. Yeah, just like the black box. And you have, of course, these basic buttons that are those ones that are basically lighted down, plus the control of the signal chain. In terms of display, nothing special. We are not talking about a touch screen, so basically a simple display. And we are going to take a look later on the general connectivity, because this is something that can be bothering. To be honest, I'll be turning on for the first time with the computer. So I hope that we're not going to have connectivity issues, just like we didn't have with the black box. But for those who watched the DNAfx unboxing, probably remember that I was pretty upset with how things are not so clear on how you should connect. So I needed really to spend some time reading the manual, which we know that for anxious people, it's not the best thing to do when you receive new gear. Okay, so let's take a look on how it looks like when you power it on. I'm going to turn using the 9 volts 300 milliamperes switch, and there it is. We are on. It doesn't have an on-off toggle, okay? So this means that as long as you have there powered the 9 volts, it's already operating. This blinking that you see in the camera is just because of the frame rate of the camera, but it's actually not blinking here in real life, okay? So if this is bothering you a little, I am really sorry. Let me see if I can... Yeah, no, my filter is not going to help on that. But yeah, guys, it's not blinking here generally. And I would like to show you what I meant. So if you go through the modes, you're going to see that there on top, you have which are the slots of the signal chain which you are editing, okay? So, do this screen remembers you of something? I'll give you a help. Let me give just a little bit of zoom. And let me reposition it here. Yeah, see? So, yeah, for those who already used the black box, this interface seems to me pretty much like the same as the black box, okay? So, once again, I cannot confirm anything, but I am able to read signs, okay? And this is how you navigate. So basically here you have the mode. Of course, if you want to turn on or turn off something, you need to navigate... let me show you. Here you can change the patches, basically the same as the foot switches. If you want to change anything, like I am now in the amp, if I click, I'm going to be able to turn on and turn off the amp. So you see, now the amp is off. If I click here, the amp is on and the LED remains on, okay? So clicking here off, LED is off. So this is how you turn on and turn off the general parts of the signal chain here up, okay? And to navigate through the parameters, you use actually the other one. So here you can use to navigate through the types of amps that you have. We're talking about the 55 slots. And you can always go through also the parameters, okay? Not that fast to go through, but also not a deal breaker, yeah? So basically the same logic as we had with the black box, okay? Of course, maybe we are going to start mixing a little bit knobs between mode and value here, yeah? That was what I was doing. But, yeah, it's just a matter of being used with these guys. It's not a deal breaker at all. Here on top, you're going to have a master volume that helps you to set how much should be the output of the full unit. And you have the tap button here, which is tap. I'm going to move back to... See, it's easy to get mixed. I'm going to turn on the delay, as you see. So we're talking about 0.6 600 milliseconds. If I'm going to change here, faster, let's see how... Yeah, actually it works. And the modulation, if I'm going to tap, it actually is not changing the rate. Maybe if I will turn on, yeah, so seems that for the modulation, it actually doesn't work. So seems that the tap tempo, guys, is basically only for the delay, okay? Again, this is not a review. I'm going to tweak those things later, check, and see actually how it works, okay? Now, I would like to go through the signal chain to show you more or less what we have here. So, as you see, the first thing, just like on the black box, is the FX slot. So, we are talking about... I hope that I am still live, guys. Okay, I am still live. So, you have the FX that you're going to be able to find a compressor, actually not one, but two compressors, a wah, a talk wah that maybe could be something like a talk box simulation, an auto wah, one more type of wah, cry wah. Yeah, so basically lots of simulations of wah that on the future we need to test how it works with the expression, of course, but let's keep as it was. So it was before on the yellow comp, which probably this is a compressor style like the diamond compressor, which got really famous on the affordable market by the Moore yellow comp. So for the colleague that was asking in the chat if this could be maybe some wrap-up of the effects from Moore, maybe, could be, maybe could be. And the blue comp, I think that it's a clear relation with the compressor from Boss. Yeah, so if you like Boss style compressor, seems that actually here you have two different styles of compressors, okay? Then we have the distortion. On the distortion, you're going to find lots of pedals based on what I saw on the manual. Start seams, the famous tube screamer. Here you have an 808 style, a pure boost, a flex boost, a D drive, black rat. So basically, you're talking about scenes, pure boost until things that are actually distortion pedals, like the metal zone, Muffy, that is probably a gray muff, a gray phase that, yeah, maybe fuzz face, and I don't know. Then you have some interesting options here. BB preamp, BB that has something on top of that, so probably you need to read on the manual, and we're going to be able to find MAR, Sure Riot, tight DS, full DS, gold clone. So yeah, 20 options of boost slash drive slash distortion that we have here, okay? And then we have the amps, which for me are the gold inside this unit, because we are talking about 55 options of amps, and some of them are not that obvious, as we will see later. So you're going to find here some interesting things, like, for example, lots of US style ones. So yeah, all Sonic, Bassman, Tweed, Deluxe Reverb. You have the Blues Clean, Blues Overdrive, JCM 800, the Marshall JCM 900, Plexi 100, E6050 Clean, E6050 Distorted, Power Bell DS, Black Knight DS, Mark III. Yeah, so guys, I'm not going to navigate through these knobs because this is not productive at all, but we are going to take a look when we're going to check actually the drop list inside our app, okay? I intend to basically plug this really soon, but for this, I'm going to keep the original one that actually is a 65 Deluxe reverb, okay? And we can move on. So there it is. Let's move to the cab. So in terms of cabs, it brings actually 22, 32. I'm not able to read. Let me see how many. Okay, actually 36 slots of impulse responses, but it has actually 26 already pre-filled by standard. And yeah, impulse responses, guys, it has the most traditional ones, 112, 212, 412, 115. So it's going to be something also for us to take a look on the drop list. But what I would like to mention to you that I was checking on the specs, it's actually the quality of impulse responsing that you have in this unit. So let me just confirm here once again to be able to tell you and not say anything actually wrong. Yeah, so in terms of impulse responsing, we are talking about 44.1 kilohertz, 24-bit, 512 sampling points, which honestly, it's not that much, especially when it comes to sampling points, okay? So it would be interesting if it would be 1034, but yeah, at least we are talking about 24-bit, not 12 bits impulse responsing, okay? So you can expect that if you're going to be using external impulse responses, maybe you're not going to have as good efficiency or delivery of sound as it would be if you were going to be using maybe one external impulse response loader, okay? But from what I saw, it always sounded pretty good, the Harley Benton multi-FX units in terms of cabs and amps. So yeah, if you are a beginner and you not even want to spend so much time going through never-ending list of impulse responses, yeah, this could be something that is just plug and play, okay? It sounds good, trust me. So let's continue. In the noise gate, you have basically here a noise killer that has an Intel reducer and another type of noise gate, this time with a little bit more control of attack, threshold, and release. Yeah, for those who were complaining about the noise gate from the M-VAVE black box, seems that here we're not going to have the same issue, because the noise gate has, yes, the simple one that has only a threshold, but also has this one that is a little bit more complete. So good news for the heavy metal players which would like to have a little bit more control of noise, okay? And you have basically this. Then when we come to the next, that is the EQ, guys, it's basically the traditional guitar EQ, metal EQ, 6-band EQ, custom EQ, and that's it. So you can choose which are the frequencies that you want to control and basically manage the best parameter that you wish to be able to do the corrections that you would like to do. In terms of modulations, things start to get interesting. We know that modulations are basically the low point or the weak point of majority of the affordable multi-FX units that we find in the market, especially when it comes to the Chinese market. So it has lots of options. What for me, it's a little bit scary, because to have lots of options and to have lots of good options, sometimes it's a little bit too much. But yeah, we are going to check it in the practice, okay? So we're talking here about having phaser, step phaser, a fat phaser, flanger, jet flanger, tremolo, stutter, vibrato, pitch shift, detune, rotary, analog chorus, triple chorus, ring mod. Okay. No one uses this. Okay, if you use, yeah, you have ring mod. Congrats. Q filter, high pass filter, low pass filter, slow gear, lo-fi, and that's it. Something that I saw on the other multi-FX from Harley Benton, and I'm pretty curious to see, is the slow gear. For those who doesn't know what is a slow gear, this is basically something that got really famous because of Boss. It's basically a crescendo style effect, or we can call something like a swell effect. So it's pretty interesting to see this in this type of multi-FX, especially by the fact that if you want to do swells and you don't have expression pedal, this could be something interesting to do not need to be actually playing with the volume of the guitar, and to have maybe one of the packs here, one of the patches that actually uses this slow gear to be able to control the swell. So it's interesting, you have two controls, rise and level, so it's not NASA science probably to set this up, but it's interesting function that it brings compared to the other affordable ones, okay? Then on the delay, it brings in total 9 algorithms of delay. So digital, analog, real. I'm glad it's real, it's not fake. Tape delay, modulated delay, reverse, ping pong, and here it's when the stereo probably shines, and unfortunately today we are not going stereo, guys. Maybe actually not maybe, 100% sure that for the full review I will do it in stereo, but yeah, unfortunately my TRS cable, it's still on the way and I was not able to get it on time. So unfortunately today the ping pong is going to be postponed. Then you have dynamic, dual delay, and back to digital. So when I see these, again, remembers me a lot of the black box, but maybe I'm wrong. Pretty curious to see the modulated versions and the D-tape or the tape delay, because those are generally the ones which sound sometimes a little bit too artificial, okay? Then the next is the reverb, and you see here that we start already with the church, which is already not so common thing. So starting with the famous room, hall, church, plate, spring, modulated, cave, and back to room. So again, looks to me a lot like the traditional M-VAVE ones, okay? Just a guessing here. Guys, moving back to my zoom out, just to add some additional functions that I didn't mention before. If you're going to keep the tuner pressed, voila, you have the tuner. That is basically the same interface as the tuner of the black box. But yes, you have there. And if you're going to keep the looper pressed, you enter finally to the recording looper. It's where the moment that actually the rhythm, and also this save, play, and system works, okay? So you are able to create loops using this unit. That again, it's something on top of the black box that you don't have. So for beginners, people that would like to maybe use this also to play acoustic guitar, to make some basic bass loops, could be something interesting. But the general idea here is that this is going to be more useful if we're going to be actually doing a testing focused only on that. So for today, I'm not going to stress the functions of the looper and what you have here, because you have even some interesting drum kits that you could be using and so on. So it's not going to be so much the focus. Let's focus on what we use most, that is the basic effects of guitar, okay? Now, before we enter back, let me just jump out of my looper. This is basically the navigation. So we're talking about the famous up and down, with the possibility of navigating faster here. So if you want to massively change, if you're going to keep pressed, it's not going to move fast like it happens in the black box, exactly because it actually engages the additional function. So if you want to move fast, you need to bend down and actually do here. What, to be honest, for me, it's not something so nice. I would prefer if they would have kept, for example, the looper as one additional button here, as probably you're not going to be engaging the looper in the middle of a song, so you could be doing this. Keep the tuner actually by pressing both, and using these 2 foot switches as actually keeping pressed, moving fast up and down. This could be something helpful for those who will not be using one additional remote controller or an additional loop box. Out, okay? MIDI controller or even switch controller, dual switch here that you could use with the expression, okay? So on the end, I just wanted to show you how many slots we actually have here. So we are talking about 200 presets. Do not start getting that excited. These 200 actually are not full patches. You're going to see that here we have some things that are purely distortions, purely amps, the full patch. So each of them has their own setting. And based on that, you see here that it's changing up. You're going to be able to see what is on and what is off, okay? Yeah, majority of them seems to be pretty interesting, but probably this multi-effect shines when you start actually customizing and making what you want, okay? Guys, I will quickly put to the on-hold screen. Let me plug the guitar. Let me plug this. Before we go, let me just show you where you're going to get the application for download, because this is something that people generally has questions. And yeah, let's do this public service here. So here we are. This is the Harley Benton website. So if you're going to type harleybenton.com, you're going to be able to go through their products. In guitars, you're going to be able to find the list here in FX also. But if you're going to type in Google DNAfx GIT core, it's going to be enough for you to find as the first page. And here down, you're going to find already the link to download for their application, okay? So if you are running in Mac, it's pretty simple. It's actually a portable application. It doesn't require installation or anything. You're basically going to plug and play. And for the Windows, I still didn't test, guys. So, but you have here the download. So this is basically where you will find, okay? So no mystery in that. For, let me set up the stuff here, and I'll be back in 1 minute. So stick with me. Take a bottle of whiskey, pour to you, and have a little bit of patience, okay? We are back. Okay, guys. So, I need your feedback now with how we are with the guitar sound and with the guitar volume, okay? Because, yeah, let's see. Sounds fine, yeah? Good. Sounds fine, guys. Okay. Thanks for the feedback there, guys. So, let's learn how to run through this together, guys. This is a first impression. So again, just reinforcing something that I mentioned at the beginning of this live stream. This is not a full review. This is basically myself playing with it and sharing these with you, so you can start having your first impressions also, and going through this discovering process together with me, okay? So it's first time that I'm seeing the app, but sounds really, really beautiful, to be honest. Really nice. You have there in your screen shared already the pedal. So maybe if you want, I can also maybe give a little zoom there so you can follow closer what is happening to the screen of the pedal. Let me just correct it to you here, the camera. Yeah, you have it there. So if we're going to turn on something here, yeah, it turns on there. So it's running, guys. It's working. First things first. Let's tune. We are in tune. And we are today, guys, playing for the first time here the Earth NT800, if I remember well. Yeah, the Telecaster from Earth, which is the thin line style of Earth, green. You cannot see it, but trust me, it's here, and it's really, really nice guitar, really beautiful guitar. It is a humbucker guitar, so tele-style humbucker, and without tremolo, so we're talking about the hardtail one. Really, really beautiful sound, yeah, I hope that you like it. I generally use the Harley Benton Modern ST for those testings, but I think that it's going to be good to not have the tremolo here, to not have so much tremolo hard action here when we'll be testing it, okay? So guys, let's first maybe navigate a little bit through the through the standard patches so you can take a look. So this is an US clean, and basically it's US Dream style, so deluxe reverb style. As you can see, it has already some modulation in it, that it's an analog chorus, and this is how it sounds. Pretty nice. Sounds to me really nice and warm. I started on the pickup of the neck, later moved to the bridge, of course. And these last tones that you heard actually were the ones from the neck back, okay? If we're going to put the middle setting, this is how it sounds. Yeah, some Steve Ray Vaughan to you. Interesting. Let's take a look on the next one, which is the US gain. Ooh. Low gain, actually. Nice. Next one, it's a distortion solo. So yeah, sounds interesting. This one actually is using, I believe, a triple rectifier style amp. The previous ones that we were, don't save. The previous ones were using actually the US Sonic, so Fender Sonic one. And the first one was using the traditional 65 Deluxe, okay? Now let's take a look on the UK Clean, which is a JCM 800 style. Yeah, this is a clean. So let's see now overdriven. Nice crunchy one. Of course, guys, again, this is not a full review, yeah? But you can play with the gain, you can play with the EQ, so let's put a little bit more gain. I will not play because I don't want to lose my monetization, okay? But yeah, it works quite fine. If we're going to reduce a little bit the presence, because for me it's a little bit too trebly, increase the bass a little. Yeah. So then you have the UK distortion solo. I'll not save. Still the JCM 800. Sorry for my mistakes, guys. I am still warming up. And it's a long time that actually I don't play. I was out for 1.5 weeks, so some time without having my fingers on the strings, okay? Then we have the acoustic. This is actually, based on what I saw, an acoustic simulation. But probably I do not expect that much, to be honest, from this one. But let's see. Yeah, not that much to expect from that, yeah? Next one. It's a clean solo from one, a chorus jazz 120, yeah? So I think it's a Roland chorus jazz. Let's see. Yeah, super close, it's super jazzy, missing lots of treble. But then you have Latin solo, which has the Mark III, and you see that the noise is already coming. Let's maybe just increase a little bit the threshold. Not killing it. Ah, of course it's not going to kill it. It's not on. Now it is. Yeah, pretty big gain in it. There's a lating wah-wah. Let's turn on the noise gate also. Later we have 808 DOD, which is actually using a triple rectifier clean being probably pushed by one TS808. Yes. Hey, Florian, thanks for your question. So, actually, I still don't know if it's possible to have the MIDI connection. I know that it has the possibility to add some additional switch using the expression. I will probably go through the manual and I will mention this on my full review. So if you're still not subscriber to the channel, please feel free to subscribe. And I hope that I'll be able to answer this question really soon. Okay? Good. So, guys, I don't want to be testing the several options that we have here, but what I wanted to do before closing was to go through a little bit some of the effects that we have. So I am going to put a clean amp here back. So we're back to the 65 reverb and back to standard tuning. And I would like to show you more or less what we have, first of all, in terms of mods. So let's start with the phaser. Now let's see the step phaser. Yeah, something pretty strange. Fat phaser, the overweighted version. Flanger. Yeah, pretty subtle. If you're going to increase the mix, let's see. Yeah. Then jet flanger. Now tremolo. Beautiful, interesting. Stutter. Pretty decent also. Let's see the vibrato. The vibrato, honestly, on the black box, I felt that it was actually crashing a little when I tested it. So I didn't like it at all. Let's see if Harley Benton did it well. Sounds decent to me. Like, okay, it's not the biggest state of art, but yeah, it's interesting. Let's see the pitch shifter. Yeah, as I expected, it's not useful. Not usable at all. Really, really, really artificial. The tune is really nice. I like it. Yeah, it's beautiful. I didn't play so much with the pitch here and so on, but I honestly like the stock setting that it comes. Let's see the rotary. No, not beautiful, guys. I wish it could be, but the rotary is not an easy effect actually to nail it. So yeah, not that good. Maybe for a bass or something like that, but no. Next time maybe. Let's take a look on the analog chorus. Yeah, the chorus is nice. I imagine that it would be, because if the vibrato is nice, the chorus tends to be also good. But it's a multi-effects chorus, guys. Not something amazing, but useful. It's usable, I would say. Ring mod, I think it's terrible as all the ring mod. So sounds terrible. So probably it sounds correct. Then we have the key filter. This sounds better than the rotary for this, yeah? But I am totally wrong. I am using a Telecaster thin line style with two humbuckers, so it's not a Floydish thing at all, and not for Shine On You Crazy Diamond. But yeah, at least for you to have an idea. Let's take a look on the high pass and low pass. And finally, the slow gear. That is the one that, for me, it's really promising. So I already saw it. Let's see if it keeps the same quality as on the other Harley Benton units. It's really nice, especially when you play with the fingers, as you can see here. Really beautiful, really, really nice. I like it a lot. This, if we would mix with a more different style of reverb, let's maybe add here the cave. And let's put a big pre-delay and a big decay. Let's see here. Really nice. Really, really nice. We're going to come soon to the delay and reverb. Let me just finish first the mods. So last one is lo-fi. Terrible. Yeah, the ring mod sounds terrible. This one sounded like the ring mod, so no, definitively no. Let's turn off the modulation and let's take a look now at the delay. I'm going to push back the verb to the hall so we don't have so much influence. Let's take a look how it sounds. Sounds nice. Let's see if we can create different subdivisions here. So yeah, it has the rhythmic patterns here. Let's see what we can create with that. Analog. Yeah, a little bit cracked the analog, the texture. I didn't like that much, especially when you palm mode for the data date. I don't know. Maybe the tape. Let's see the tape. Let's see this one. I didn't feel that much difference, to be honest. Let's see the tape. Yeah, I have already my favorite for a while. Sounds better. Let's see now with the palm mode. Yeah, the deterioration is still there. Of course, on a tape delay, you expect to have deterioration, but to be honest, to me, sounds too digital. So yeah, not. Again, guys, it's a 89 bucks unit. Okay, let's not forget this small detail. Okay, so something interesting here. You see that we have. Some other fields on top that you can choose, even which parameter the expression will control. If you wanted to turn off cab scene in one of the sides, so if you would like, for example, to have the cab scene go into the direct box and the cab scene not going to amp as monitoring, you can also use this here. So while I was playing, I was seeing this. This is a pretty interesting thing. Nice option. Let's take a look on the modulated delay. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's not a shimmer, but it's beautiful. It's for me, it's missing still the tone. I would like to see if it's possible to change a little bit more bright or less bright modulation, but it's okay. It's not bad. Reverse. Let's take a look. Yeah, reverse is a really creative style. Yeah, so if you want to play, give it away. You can put the level on maximum. Here we don't have blend actually, so you would not be able to do this here. But yeah, reverse, it's different, creative. Ping pong, we are not in stereo, but let's see. I think that is going to be just a regular. Yeah, probably in stereo, this is a pretty interesting one, especially if you are going to be using the dotted 8 subdivision. Yeah, but yeah, we are mono. Dynamic, there's a threshold, additional setting. This cracking annoys me a lot. Guys on the chat, can you hear these on the really background of the effect? The dynamic is something like a crescendo also. It's like the swell style that we have in the elemental song. Not that. And here you have the duo, which is interesting because you can set different subdivisions and different tempo. I'm not so much skilled on that, but I know that some people really appreciate this style. For those who want to play any demon styles, you have here the possibility to set the dual delay. Okay, guys, I think delay that's it. Let's move back to the tape. That was the most interesting one. I'm going to move the subdivisions off here. So just... Okay. And now let's take a look on the reverbs. Starting by the room. You know what? I think that this cracking could be by the amp, because the deluxe reverb has a little bit of this texture to it. Let's do something. Let's change to the JCM 800. They don't want something with so many gain. Okay, not what I needed. Let me see if we have something clean. Mark III. Okay, I like it. Now let's see how it will be with the delay. It's not the amp. It's still there. There's still this digital deterioration of the sound that it's not... Of course, if you're not palm muting, this is not so visible because you have more frequency, so I think that it covers. Whoa, huge hall here. They put me inside almost a church. This is interesting. Here has the control of tone that I wanted so much, and it has the possibility to control pre-delay. So I think that you're able to organize your sound to not be that busy. So interesting. The church, it's sounds to me like a hall with a little bit of shimmer in it, but yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a shimmer, but let's take a look at the plate. Plate is something that plate and spring are always not good at all in those types of units, but let's see. Yeah, it's useful. It's interesting. Let's see the spring. Just doesn't sound like spring. Let me increase a little bit the level to see if we get something a little bit more visible. Yeah, still that cracking sound. This is something that probably it's not enough DSP to be able to process. And you see, guys, I'm not adding many things here. I'm just adding the basics, yeah? If I would add, let's see, with a drive pedal. Yeah, more or less. Modulated. It's really beautiful modulation, the same as the delay. It's not exactly a shimmer. It's something more subtle, even with the tone open. So yeah, this is nice. Doesn't sound that artificial. And the cave we already saw, but let's try once again. Okay, guys, I think that this, in terms of effects, it's pretty much everything. I just wanted to show you a little bit of the amp list before we would finish the live stream, but there are some pretty interesting stuff here. As you see, we have 55, and we have some that are not that common. Like there is a these, if I'm not mistaken, I know that they are there. I just don't know if they're exactly those ones. But you see, we have a high watt amp here, which is not common simulation at all when it comes to those more affordable units. So if you want to take a look on how it sounds really quickly. It's nice. It's a nice clean sound, and you're going to be able to find also the choral. I don't remember exactly what is the original name, but like the one that is got famous because of John Mayer. So you have here this carol. It's actually the choral. Twin choral, if I'm not remember, or choral twin, something like that. You're going to be able to find some Hughes and Kettner. You're going to be able to find some king tone. If I remember well, this regal tone is actually a king tone. So things that are not that common, and you are able to find here. So PV styles, this EV 5050 clean, it's really nice. Let's try it. It's a monster. So yeah, so there are really nice ones here. And the cabs, as I mentioned to you, you have lots of empty slots here from 27 to 36, but also brings already some cabs. So you're going to see we have 112, 212, 410, the most traditional ones. So the Mark V, the standard one from Fender, standard ones from Marshall, you're going to find here, the 412s ones, and so on. All the things related to those amps and so on, the best way for you to check what actually is available, it's actually, let me move back my camera to the big screen. You see here in the corner. The best way of to do this, guys, is to enter on Harley Benton website, look for the DNAfx Git core, and download the manual. And you're going to see here that they have basically the list of the effects. So it's pretty good. You're going to be able to find not only by the names, but even what are the original ones. So you see here, the first one, Fender 65 Deluxe Reverb, Fender Twin, Angle, Blackmore Clean, Angle Blackmore Distortion, the Plexi ones that we mentioned. Here we have the Mesa Mark III Clean, Mark V Clean, Triple Rectifier Clean, Orange Rock Verb Clean, Orange 8030, OR 50, Soldano Slow 100 Crunch and Distortion, Dr. Z, Jet City, so like things that are not that common to be found when it comes to amps. You have the Roland Jazz Chorus, that is the JC 120, the Vox AC30, the high watt that I just showed you, PV 5150, Tone King, Falcon Rhythm, Falcon Tweed, Falcon Lead, Coral Clean, 2-Rock, Coral Clean. So this is what I was trying to remember. So actually it's the 2-Rock, Coral Clean, Coral Overdrive, Cardiff, the 5150, Black Star, HT Stage 100. So yeah, also here. Then you have the Diesel Hagen Clean, the Koch Powertone Overdrive, plus 3 acoustic simulators. So as you see, they run a little bit out of the obvious. So this is interesting. And once again, guys, for who is this product for? Yeah, because we need to start now. Let me just move back to the big screen and take out the guitar from my neck. Just 1 second. Yeah, so we are already moving to the final part of this live stream. So let me bring back some song to you. So to who is this product for, in my opinion? Yeah, because as you saw here, it's an interesting product. It's not a professional thing for sure. Yeah, so you need to expect that it's not going to be so much the life of those who has more advanced things. So I could already answer you my honest opinion. Is this able to solve or to switch something like that? I would say that probably no. The quality of what you have here is still superior compared to this one. Okay, but the question which would stay, that is it worth upgrading from this one here to the DNAfx? This is something that maybe it's still an open question, and I will, as I told, test it more before doing my final review, my full review, and giving you my final opinion. I am with lots of mixed feelings after this initial testing. Once again, if I look at the price tag of 89 euros, for me, it is not discussable that it is a pretty good option for those who would like to start investing in something cheap, affordable, actually, that is pretty competent, okay? And once again, I didn't change impulse responses. We didn't try it still as stereo. I remember seeing some really good settings, some really good patches that are native ones. So probably you needed to tweak a little bit better. I was just free flying here through the settings of the multi-effects, guys. So of course, this was not expected to be a full review. But my point is, I believe that there is a potential that this could be a really good unit for beginners. It has the loop, which doesn't have the black box. It has the possibility to record on the mobile. It brings the headphones output here, which is really nice. So it's pretty compact. I believe that this is one interesting player in the affordable market. And for us as customers, as many players there will be in the market, better it is, yeah? Because then on the end, we have more things to compare, more things to take into consideration when we're selecting. So it's a really nice time for the beginners to start. If we would maybe go back in time 5-6 years ago, it would not be that easy to find so many nice affordable options of multi-effects and entry-level equipment. So I think that the Harley Benton, as always, delivers more than what is promised by its price tag, okay? But it's not a perfect thing. We saw lots of artificial and the digital cracked things inside the effects. Of course, we are talking about someone that is listening this in headphones, monitoring headphones. If you're talking about the context of a band playing, 99% of those things are just details, okay? So maybe no one would notice, okay? But sometimes we need to be a little bit more picky because this is our work. This is part of our job to review things and be as much precise as we can. So if you're going to buy it, you're not going to have any bad surprise, okay? So guys, thank you once again for spending this time with me. We have reached, I believe, more than 2 hours of live stream. We still have some folks with us in the chat. So thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate your support, your company here. I am sorry for the interruption on the live stream due to the lack of, the shortage of energy. But yes, I'm still not able to control everything that happens here in Italy. So please have a little bit of patience. If you're watching this a little bit later, probably I'm going to have trimmed out the waiting part. But for those who stayed or which actually jumped out and came back, I really appreciate. Thank you so much. So guys, I hope to see you still this week with a new video, with one more release. And for those who are not subscribed still to the channel, please consider subscribing, hitting the like button in the video so this live stream will reach to more people. Follow us on the social media, so Instagram, and join us on the Telegram group. It's free. You're going to be able to chat with us. It's a really nice group of people there. I'll catch you on the next, guys. Keep on rocking.